Hi guys, Jace here. Today is a very exciting day because it's new bike day, and new bike day is always an exciting day. So here it is. It's the Pivot Firebird 29er. It's version 5 and it's the XTR model. Actually, the only real bit of XTR is the rear derailleur. I went with the Galaxy Green model and not the bright fox kind of orange model, and I so much prefer this color.
Now the alternative color is a bright orange if you like to stand out or just like bright colors. You can also upgrade to the Reynolds carbon wheels, which I thought was a bit too much of a luxury. Now I'm no expert, so take this kind of first look review thing with a pinch of salt, but this is one beautiful looking bike. The frame has also got some nice touches, so where the cables are routed in, the very neat looking ports there. Also just where they come in and out, and you may just be able to see the rubber to stop the rotor rubbing on the frame. You can also see the chainstay protector to stop the chain slapping with the noise on the frame. The suspension is taken care of with Fox 38s on the front with the Kashima coating, so the factory edition. And on the rear, you got the Fox Float X2, which is very adjustable, more than I need, in fact. You've got 165 travel on the rear and 170 on the front, so plenty there with a 29-inch wheel. Talking of wheels, we've got the DT Swiss XM 1700 spline, 30mm internal width, paired with the 350 hubs. I have a DHR2 on the rear Minion and an Assegai on the front, 2.5 on the front, 2.4 on the rear. The cockpit is taken care of with all Phoenix components. The handlebars, Phoenix Team Carbon, 800mm, but I cut it down to 760. It's got a 45mm Trail Enduro Phoenix stem and Phoenix lock-on grips. For good stopping, we've got the 4-pot Shimano XT8120 brakes, paired with the 203 Shimano center lock rotors. Last but not least, Fox transfer, and we have got a flip chip to reduce the GO.
Oh, first ride on the beast. First few seconds. Seat.
Now this is my first kind of ride. I got the shuttle up here, and the two things you'll notice, one is basically it's the seat that's rubbing against my back wheel, or my back wheel rubbing against my seat, and the second thing is the rattling brake pads. I did get warned about this in the shop. The first thing I did was rectify the seat, raise my seat post up a little bit and my seat further forward, and that seemed to sort it out. Make a mullet would also rectify the situation. Now the second was the brake pads, which I haven't sorted out yet, but I will get new brake pads and hopefully that will cure it, because it is a little bit annoying. Now what I did find is the bike is quite long but solid and stable, so these drops, it just eats them up with that Fox 38 and that rear Float X suspension. Apart from the brakes rattling like Billy Ho, and I'm used to Code and G2 brakes, the lever felt really nice and the brakes are responsive, so I had no problem with the brakes whatsoever. They stopped the bike really well with the 203mm rotors. Now the bike really eats this stuff up with the 64-degree head angle in the slack setting and the longer reach. For a medium, the reach for me was 468mm, which was about 28mm longer than my last bike, but I love that long reach. And the wheelbase on this is 1239mm, way longer than I've had before, and it's just so stable. I did race an Enduro the day after my first ride, and it's testament to the bike that I got used to it really quickly, and it felt really stable and a lot faster than my previous bike, which was a Canyon Strive, a 27.5-inch wheel, 160/165 suspension. This just felt faster, it ran better, felt smoother, and yes, it's a new bike and sometimes new bikes do that, but I just felt that it installed me with so much more confidence. It is only around 14.5 kilos, so you can move it around a bit. It is pretty maneuverable.
Oh yeah.
Now let's talk about how the bike pedaled. During the Enduro, this stage, which is the Joker stage, is mainly an XC stage of about, I don't know, 7 minutes or so. But I found that it pedaled really well on this, on the technical ups that there were, and just generally pedaling all together. So I've got confidence that I could do long days in the saddle if I needed to around the forest with this bike. Also, this was the stage that I got my best result on, believe it or not, even though most people probably were just kind of cruising it. I came 45th out of 500 riders. So that tells you that it does pedal well, and it pedals the technical stuff, because there's a couple of ledges here. There's one and another one coming up where it just kind of cruised up, which was great. All in all then, after a weekend of riding the bike and seeing it and setting it up, for me, I'm very happy with my purchase. Of course I'm going to be. I spent 13,500 New Zealand dollars on it, so I'm going to be happy with it no matter what. This is probably going to be my last Enduro bike before I move on to e-bikes, no doubt. So hopefully it's future-proofed it for 5 years or so with the 64-degree head angle. I think that's around about the sweet spot for me, and the length of it and the stability of it. And hopefully it will be good on both these pedally sections, the Enduros, and also bike parks such as Whistler if I eventually get there again. So yeah, happy with the purchase. Give me a thumbs up, please subscribe if you like the content, and hopefully I'll see you out there on the trails.